Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about DraftKings stock. This name is up around 10% or the equivalent of $4 in the last week, and right now it is a very critical point where we need to find out if the stock will be either continuing up or continuing down in the short and long term. So really, if you want to know what to do with DraftKings stock here in both of those time frames, short and long term, make sure you stay until the end of the video because I'll have a lot of great information. But to get us started here, let's hear what CNBC's Jim Cramer has to say about DraftKings stock here over the last few days.
Take two companies that reported in the last 24 hours, very accessible companies, Penn National Gaming and DraftKings. Both delivered sharply better than expected sales. Both are well on their way to dominating one of the strongest, fastest growing areas in this entire national economy, which is gambling. And both are exceedingly well run. Penn National has harnessed the talents of Dave Portnoy and his Barstool empire. DraftKings, which I've done work for, full disclosure, has an electric website, very easy to use, and some big-time partnerships that bring in lots of new gamblers every single week.
So as you can tell from the video, Cramer is extremely bullish on this name DraftKings stock, and in the future, he thinks that they will continue pushing even higher sales, being in a great industry and also continuing to improve on their already amazing platform. And this is what's going to push them forward in the long term, he says. But really, I know what you guys are thinking. DraftKings, they improved a lot as a result of this pandemic and as a result of a lot of people being indoors. Are they going to continue this growth into the ends of 2021, but especially up until 2025? 2030, etc., when we really do want to see stocks continue to grow in the long term. For this, I want to bring on the CEO of DraftKings to explain why he's looking in the long term and to also explain what he thinks about this pandemic and how it's going to affect their sales and their business in the next quarter and coming into the ends of 2021. So this is very, very important, guys.
We haven't seen any adverse impacts so far as more vaccinated people get out and about. Obviously, we think we had some benefit from, more of stay at home and things like that. But so far, we haven't seen any loss of momentum. So we're certainly being appropriately cautious about what that could look like. But everything we're seeing in the data suggests that strong momentum is continuing, and we feel like we are well lined up to have a great last few quarters of the year. I think really at this stage, we're in the growth phase of the industry. New states are opening up, multiple every year. We launched 2 last quarter, Michigan and Virginia, and then we also had the Iowa started to take mobile registrations, which really opened up the market, as noted on our previous earnings call. We had more registrations on, I think 5 days, I want to say, in January than we had the previous 12 months in Iowa. So lots of exciting things happening with new states opening up. Even our longest tenured state, New Jersey, had really strong growth year over year.
This is a very, very bullish perspective, but it's exactly what we want to see a CEO saying as guidance for the following quarters or for the following year. You can see that he always explains how the company will continue looking forward and continue to keep pushing their sales and growth, even regardless of whether we're in a pandemic or what situation we are in economically. So really, he is a very driven CEO, and DraftKings as a company is a very driven company. Now, before we end the video, I want to take a different perspective here on DraftKings from a charting point of view or from a technical analysis perspective. And what I want to show you guys is where I would personally buy in on this stock according to what the chart is telling me and according to what the technical analysis is showing. So as you guys can see, we've continuously been following this channel up over the last few months here on the channel. And if you've been watching, I told you guys that this stock would be shorting from around 70 to the bottom side of this channel around 55. And now that we had earnings coinciding with the bottom of this channel, I figured that we might even see a break to $38 a share, which you can see was tested almost perfectly. The stock came down to $39.80, so obviously very, very close to that target support price. And now that we've seen a bounce from there, it's going to be very critical to know whether DraftKings might be a great time to buy at 48 or whether we should wait for another dip, or what should we do here in the short term to get in on this name DraftKings before it goes back up to $70 a share. And my best recommendation would be to buy it anywhere below $47 a share. So at that point, you're getting it below this consolidation range here, because I really don't think that the stock will be able to push above the 200 EMA so soon. That is the point where stocks basically show us whether they are trading upwards in the long term or trading downwards in the long term. So over the last few weeks, you can see that DraftKings clearly has been trading downwards and not been able to break above. Right now, we are testing that, so a very critical point, like I said at the beginning of the video, but really, I don't think we're going to be able to break it right now. Maybe sometime next week or the following week, that's when DraftKings will see the majority of its strength. But right now, I wouldn't be surprised if this bounce got eaten up back tomorrow or by Friday and funds took their money and hedge funds took their money and ran with it, like what they usually do when we see these short-term bounces. So I do think that the market will start recovering and that DraftKings has potential to move over the next few days, but especially over the next few weeks is when I see the potential really going crazy with the stock DraftKings. So be very careful about what price you get in at and really try to scalp on a lower price here. I think we can get below 47 a share, but that's just wishful thinking for me here in the short term. We need to see what's going to be happening with the stock overall. So make sure you check out my links in the description to my free Discord where I post my daily plays and signals, and also the link to the TradingView, which is where I do this charting analysis, and you guys can get that for completely free through the link in the description below. So as always, if you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope all your guys' trades are in the green.